Hello, YTPC. Ethan, Parsimonious Piper here. Today, I have got another interview with a up and coming small channel, and this is going to be Cory, Lakeside Piper. Hello, Cory. How are you?
I'm good. Good morning.
Good morning yourself. In a little 3-star pipe by Lee Levat, I've got some more of that Watch City Nor'easter. What are you smoking this morning?
I have got a Nerup, and in it I have some Peterson Deluxe Navy Rolled.
Now, y'all may be wondering exactly why you can't see Cory. Well, the nature of his particular employment doesn't allow him to show his face in our videos, but he can still chat with us, which is really just as good. He can share a pipe, and we can still have, and we're looking at a lovely lake, which, trust me, it's a beautiful view.
Here, I'll hold my pipe up in front of the camera.
There you go. So he really is smoking a pipe. So tell us a little bit about yourself. General area. Where do you live? What do you do?
Yeah. So I live in central Alabama in Birmingham. Actually in Hoover, which is a suburb of Birmingham, and Hoover's kind of famous. They did the the football show on MTV years ago, and followed Hoover High School for a few years. So that is the part of the world I live in. But I have been here. Let's see. I've always lived in Alabama. I grew up in Florence, Alabama, and then migrated south. Went to Tuscaloosa for my undergrad, and finished Alabama's alumni there. I did my MBA degree from Auburn, of all places. So I have a degree from both Alabama and from Auburn. So I can talk out of both sides of my mouth, but I'm an Alabama guy to the core. And then from there, I ended up landing in Birmingham. I've been here since about 2001. No, I'll take it back. 2003. I moved to Birmingham. So, but I'm here. I've been in wealth management basically my entire career in different hats, and currently I work for a top 5 bank in their wealth group, and I'm what's known as a relationship strategist. So all that means is I'm kind of the relationship guy, the concierge, the quarterback to their high net worth clients, to wrap a team around them. So we don't really work in the branch system, but up and working with the higher end clients. And because of that, they don't like us, showing our faces, giving political views. And, since I'm smoking pipes, I probably ought to stay away from keeping my face off these videos. But anyway, that's why I fly under the compliance radar here.
Well, but in a lot of ways, I'm similar. I can do these kinds of videos, but I never mention who my employer is.
Yeah, I'll stay away from that one. But
yeah.
Anyway, it is one of the big guys that's here in Alabama. But I live here. We actually moved to the lake here back in March, and it wasn't a big move. We moved from 2 doors down. Actually, it was just across the street and not on the lake. And the opportunity popped up, so we bought this house, and I live here with my wife and 5 kids. We have a basketball team with some subs.
Yep.
We're blended. So I had 3 kids, she had 1, and then we had 1 together. So we've got a pretty good spread. So it's just us. We've got 2 dogs here, little long-haired miniature dachshund, and then a pit lab mix that we rescued from the Humane Society. So this is our happy little home here.
Well, we got a couple of things in common there. I grew up a Tide fan.
Roll Tide.
Yeah, my dad taught calculus for Auburn, so I became a Tide fan.
Good for you.
And we like bully breeds. Ours happens to be boxers. My daughter has pit bulls.
Okay.
I happen to love those things.
They're sweet.
Well, they really are. I think everybody knows that about boxers. They don't always know that about pit bulls. You see the videos online of boxers just doing incredibly stupid, crazy things. You wonder if they've got enough brain to keep breathing on their own.
A lot of energy.
Yes, that too. So how long have you been smoking a pipe?
I halfway got into it in college. I was always a a guy that likes cigars, and my roommate and we would have cigars from time to time. And one year for Christmas, he bought me a pipe of all, just because we had talked about it. Neither one of us had one, so he bought me some little crappy pipe, and we both tried to smoke it and burn the hell out of our tongues on some cherry blend, like everybody does when they start out. And just kind of thought, well, maybe this isn't what it cracked up to be. So I tucked it in a drawer, and later on, probably around the 2005 range or so, I went back and got a little better pipe and got a little more serious with it, and then for whatever reason got away from it. So I would say regularly about 4 years now, I got back into it and really started taking it seriously, learning about blends and techniques and how not to burn your tongue in half. So I've been enjoying it for 4 years, I guess is a good way to say it.
I think, there are a lot of us who enjoyed cheap cigars like, Swisher Sweets when we were in college, and thought, oh, well, that I can just get a nice, like you said, a cherry tobacco and smoke it in a cheap Chinese knockoff corn cob.
Oh, man.
And,
I tell you, part of the problem, I had a buddy in college. This was the mid 90s, and his grandfather worked for Swisher Sweet, and he didn't like him, but his grandfather would send him just crates of Swisher Sweet cigars, which he gave to me. Which, I mean, they're terrible, but in college you'll smoke anything you got. So
well, it's that and cheap beer. So
that's right.
I
don't like Swisher Sweets anymore, but I'll still drink a Natural Light and enjoy it.
See, I won't drink the stuff I drank in college either.
That's the only one. I guess I grew a taste for it.
A natty fan, huh?
I won't turn it down.
So what got you interested in getting back into pipes then after the, a couple of, well, I would say one failed attempt, and then, you said 15 years ago or so, you picked it up for a little while. What got you back into it this time?
I've always been drawn to it. My great grandfather smoked a pipe, and, we didn't go over to his house much. And I only saw him physically smoke it a couple of times, but every time we would visit, his pipes were always laying around, and we'd pick them up, sniff them. And, just that smell, the old man you would pass on the street growing up, you just never forget that smell. So that always stuck in my mind. But, it was just a relaxing thing to me, a nostalgia thing. And it's something I craved to learn how to do. And, my thought was, if I ever got into it, that one day my kids and grandkids would remember me for my pipe. And, so it's just always been with me. I don't know that there was any one individual trigger that got me back into it, other than I just finally gave in and made time for it. But it's a good way. It makes you slow down. And I've worked a lot in my life to be where I am. And, I was basically giving back to myself and making myself stop for a minute and slow down.
Mm-hmm. Now, in the last few years, since you've gotten back into it, have you developed an affinity for a particular pipe maker, or a shape, or finish style?
I have been drawn, like this Nerup I'm smoking now. I don't know what it is. Peter Gibson. I loved his shapes, and I was always in the past drawn to like a Ben Apple kind of a shape. Here lately, I've been leaning more towards straight billiards and Canadians. I don't know why, they've just become more appealing to me, and I've gotten a little bit away from the bents as much. But I do love this one's a smooth, but I'm more of a sandblasted or a rusticated, like that's my style. So right now I would say straight rusticated.
Is it the look of the rustication or the feel of a sandblast?
It's both. I like the rustication feel in my hand a little bit better, but I certainly like the look, only because, again, the old guys used to see it. I don't remember a smooth pipe in any of those growing up. It just, when I think of a pipe, I think of an old rusticated old man pipe. But as far as a maker, I mean, like I said, Nerup is, I'm drawn to those for whatever reason. They smoke well. I've got some Savinellis I love. One that I'm drawn to and I don't have is Ardor. I've just always heard that they're great smokers, aged briar, and I've never pulled the trigger on buying one. And they're kind of hit or miss. You look at them, I love some of them, and some of them I hate just the way they look. But as far as quality, I've always wanted to acquire an ardor at some point.
Yeah, see, I had an uncle that smoked a pipe when I was a kid, and I remembered the tobacco he smoked because he smoked a vanilla, just a vanilla black Cavendish, and but I have no idea what pipes he smoked. I don't even remember the pipes, honestly. I was so fascinated by the aroma, whether it was lit or not, of the tobacco. That's kind of what I fell in love with. So moving from pipes, the next obvious question is, do you have any favorite blends or styles?
I would say in the past year, I've been leaning towards, straight Virginias or Virginia Perique blends. The Capstan Blue has been a good standby. Scudo, Paladin Piper here recently turned me on to Newminster 400, and that one's starting to break into the rotation. But I'm still, I still lean towards that. I like some Latakia blends. I don't love the way that smells in the tin. Right. It's kind of a turnoff for me, but as a cigar smoker, I like the smokier side of things. So when the weather cools down, I'll smoke not a lap bomb, but good experiences with like MacBaron Plum Cake. That's kind of a crossover type. That sort of thing. So very few Latakia blends. I'm sure that'll evolve, and down the road that may be all I like for who for whatever reason.
So are you a seasonal smoker? Do you change what you smoke throughout the year, or
not really. I tend to stick with Virginia Periques, and in the summer I'll pick up an aromatic now and then. The old classic Sir Walter Raleigh aromatic is a good standby. There's some other good ones. I go back to that cherry blend smell you grew up with, and I've never found a cherry blend that I like. So,
have you tried? Have you tried Milan Tobacconist's Cherry Bonbon?
I have not.
Now, see, just like going to the Gatlinburg earlier, which I'm sure you have, Milan up there in Roanoke, they have got and it's really the only cherry blend I've ever tried that I like. My wife only likes the smell of cherry blends. So I am on a constant quest to find cherry blends that agree with me. And the only one that I really like is their Cherry Bonbon. It's not goopy. It's not cough syrupy. It just has a nice cherry aroma, and my wife likes it. So,
well, and that's part of my quest too.
So
the smell to someone else, to someone else, I want to give someone else that. It's not really that I want cherry flavor. It's just, that's what I remember. And that's right. That's what I think will stick in their mind also.
And that one does for my wife. It actually works for both of us.
All right. I may give that one a try.
And they make so many other good solid blends. If you follow 2 a.m. Pipe on the Patio, I got him convinced before he even moved from San Diego that he was going to have to drop into Milan, and he has just become the biggest fanboy of all of their blends. It's amusing.
Can you buy online from them?
Yes, you can.
Okay, I'm gonna go check them out.
And they reasonable prices for both their blends and their shipping.
Yeah, one of the main reasons too for finding a good cherry or some good aromatic that I can tolerate and enjoy is to be able to smoke it in my office inside the house. Without getting thrown out. But yeah, it's a never-ending journey.
My house rules are no Latakias in the house. Nothing that is Burley or Kentucky forward. Well, guess what I like?
Right. That's how it works.
So if my wife is home, I am only allowed to smoke aromatics in the house. So what brought you, how did you find the YTPC originally?
So I guess I found the YTPC back, 4 or so years ago, and I kind of got back into this, and I was really trying to become a student of pipe smoking and wanted to learn the right way to do it and techniques. So, just through some searches and ended up landing, like so many, probably with Mutton Chop, the first first one I really found. And, then from there I graduated on, I found Bradley at Stuff and Things, and he did a ton of great reviews. And of course, at some point I stumbled on the Matches 860, and and then found Mike at Briar Blues. You know, the list just kept growing. You would hear somebody mention one, or you'd see a comment, and you try someone else's channel. But it was really just looking for that knowledge, and you know, finding some guys with a bunch of videos out there that you enjoyed listening to, and had the experience to teach it the right way. And that's really how I found the YTPC, and it just grew from there.
I think a lot of us share that mutton chop experience. I know I figured, oh, how hard can it be to smoke a pipe? You put tobacco in it, you light it. Well,
yeah, me too.
When I discovered that it wasn't quite that straightforward, Mutton Chop had so many great instructional videos that he was my gateway drug into the YT.
Yeah, as is probably 80% of everybody out there, I would think.
Now, one of the questions I usually ask is how did you get your channel name? But as our viewers can see, I think that's fairly obvious. I picked one. I was Paladin. I've been a lurker forever and would comment, and but just due to my business, I never even attempted to put up a video. And Paladin kind of poked me and got me to making a video. And he suggested, he's like, well, my screen name before was just my name, and I was like, well, if someone does a search, I'm toast. Right.
So he's like, well, change it. This is just the first thing that popped in my head, and I went with it. But it made sense.
It certainly does.
This is where I smoke all my pipes, by the lake. So here I am.
You've got a lovely spot there. Let me tell you, that really is gorgeous.
Thank you.
So you said that Paladin got you. He's the one who kind of gave you the little last nudge to get into at least creating videos occasionally. What keeps you in the YTPC? What do you really like about the community?
I'll just all the people I don't want to say met, because I really haven't met a lot of them, but just you feel like you know them, even if you're not talking to them. Just you get to know people and their background, and it's just such a great group of real people that share a hobby. And it's hard to find a pipe smoker. If you're just on the street, you never just happen to run into one. You either got to go to a pipe shop, and this is a way to have kind of a global pipe shop that you meet people and talk to people. And it's just I'm always learning something new. I'm always able to keep up with blends and figure out what I want to try next. So there's just something new every day, and now I'm kind of addicted. I get up and I see who's posted new videos of the day and try to sift through them. And now I'm subscribed to so many, I can't watch them all. And it's just it never ends.
It's impossible. I know one of the little tricks that I picked up from George 416 early on was watch your videos at 1.5 or 2 speed, and depending on how quickly people talk, and you can get more people's videos in, but you have to just look at them and go, okay, that one's 25 minutes. Even at double speed, I don't have the time to watch that right now.
Yeah, that's right.
I might be able to pick it up later. There are a few exceptions where it doesn't matter what they post or how long it is. I will watch it. But for the most part, it is impossible to actually keep up. There's just too many people putting out good stuff.
It's all great for the most part too. So yeah, I'm with you. There are some that I will watch it no matter if it's an hour long, and some that if it doesn't have a good title, I won't even click on it. So
right. So outside of pipes, what are your other interests and hobbies?
Well, I kind of grew up fishing, and so that now that we're here at the lake, it gives me and this isn't a huge lake, it's just a little private lake in the neighborhood, but it's stocked and it's kept up with. So there's great fishing here. So I'm gotten back into that a good bit. I like to golf when I get a chance. I used to golf a lot more than I do now, but I'll still go with clients. And and as our conversation, Alabama football is certainly a big any Alabama sports, but especially football is a big part of my life and has been, always will be.
Well, and basketball's actually been pretty good recently.
Thank goodness. It's finally coming back and fun to watch. And Nate Oates has a great style, and love seeing what he's bringing to the table. So I'm anxious for basketball season to kick up this year too. So
Yeah, and see, I went to Vanderbilt for grad school, so we were always exactly the opposite when I was there. You know, basketball was good, football was terrible, and well, now both of them are terrible. But you know, we always got our revenge on Bama during basketball season, but not anymore. You know,
well,
we got a good team down there now.
yeah, it's fun to watch for sure. We we used to crack jokes in college. You know, people would pick on Vanderbilt, and I was like, well, God forbid their football players challenge ours to a spelling contest.
well,
Then it's going to be a different story.
The around campus at Vanderbilt was, you know, it was more out of self-defense than anything, and that was, well, they may slaughter us on the field, but in 20 years they'll be working for us.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Well,
but that's probably it as far as hobbies. You know, given my line of work, we do a lot on the investment side, and on the side of that, I've gotten into cryptocurrencies and precious metals and those sort of things. So I've been a student of that. But that's really it, man. That's how I spend my time.
Well, we're this has been a great conversation. I think this is the longest one I've had so far. I may have to readjust my
sorry.
I may have to readjust my time goals. This was fantastic. Sometimes it's harder to draw people into conversation, but this one went really well. I do need, however, to wrap it up so that people will actually take the time to watch it.
Absolutely.
You know, I try to keep my videos around 10 minutes because I know I'm not a great producer. But do you have any parting words for the YTPC?
Man, I just love the content that's out there, the people that's out there, and I look forward to getting to know several of you. You know, I'm trying to make a conscientious effort to reach out and to, you know, get numbers so I can text with people and, you know, just start a real relationship. So it's just fun to have connections all over the country and all over the world. So I look forward to it, and I will be staying a member for a long time.
Well, you're most welcome here. And with that, folks, I'm going to make sure that Lakeside Piper's link is down below in that bucket. Go check his channel out, sub him, and get to know him. Really nice guy. Like something you like. Enjoy your afternoon.